Hey brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Behavior Revolution and our Revelation summary studies that we're feeding all the transcripts from all our Revelation studies into the AI, and we're seeing what we can come up with and what we can discuss. Brandon's working today. I've got my boy Mikey here, and we'll all just give you a moment to acknowledge his new haircut. So that's it. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
All right, happy?
Yeah.
Good. What we thought we'd do today is a little bit different. Rather than just doing the summary, I can only feed a certain amount of information into the AI at a time. So I do it in 4 parts. But each 4 part that it summarizes is very interesting. So rather than just giving you the final summary, we're going to go through all the information that it summarizes because you get a few more details in there. So I'm going to get Mikey to just speed read through it so it doesn't take too long. And we'll just stop it where things jump out. So go for it, mate. This was it Revelation 13? Yeah. You go for it and we'll stop when there's things that... So we are going to go a bit faster through this.
The beast rising, a new world order exposed. The world is currently witnessing the manifestation of a spiritual and physical system of insanity, a root source of perversion and control that has remained hidden from the daily view of the average person. This system, identified as the beast from the sea, is not a literal animal, but a man-made system of a programmed behavior and global governance rising out of the restless sea of humanity, the nations. The source of the system. The depth of this movement is rooted in the occult, specifically the Zohar and Kabbalah, while many remain deceived by the religious exterior of certain groups. The initiated core is driven by a mindset of absolute blasphemy. In this context, blasphemy is not merely a word, it is a profound spirit of hatred, contempt, and provocation directed entirely against the words of Yahusha and his messengers.
All right, let's leave this, do a page, and then scroll. All right, so people can keep their spot.
Yep.
Remember the week we did, Christopher brought along this video from YouTube. It went for over an hour and it was all about the Zohar and the Kabbalah and all the feral, disgusting things, the circumcision of babies and drinking the circumcision blood and all this stuff that the Jews were into.
Yeah.
Remember that? We did that before we had the meeting. That's around the time of this, and of course it lines up with what we're learning about the beast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, go on.
This system is characterized by perversion, the promotion of behaviors designed to destroy the innocence of children and the natural order, technological control, the use of AI and robotics to manipulate and eventually eliminate those deemed unnecessary, global deception, a new world order fueled by witchcraft and hidden agendas, often operating behind the facade of Zionism, the anatomy of the beast. The vision of the beast reveals a hybrid creature possessing the qualities of a leopard, a bear, and a lion, signifying concentration of all the world's previous tyrannical powers. This beast is controlled by Hartanen, the dragon or Satan, who grants this system its throne, its power, and its authority to rule through fear and manipulation. 7 heads, representing the kingdoms or mountains of the world. 10 horns, representing the kings and authorities who lend their power to the system. The crown of the beast. While many speculate on the identity of this final power, the truth revealed is that the greatest beast of the last days is controlled by Israel, a league of nations under an ecumenical Babylonian authority.
Scroll up.
The warning for today. We are currently living in the time of this beast. Its influence is seen in the banking systems that deny people access to their own money, the legal systems that protect the perverse, and the push for a third temple involving sacrifices and talking idols. The goal of this system is to force the world to bow down to its image. Those who do not understand its depth are easily sucked in by new trends and jargon. However, for those who serve Yahusha, the mission is clear. We are to serve and worship Yahusha today. He is the one who ultimately destroys this hideous system with the fire of his eyes and the sword of his mouth. While the world rushes after the beast in awe of its technological wonders and perceived healing, the followers of Yahusha must remain standing, conscious, awake, and refusing to bow to a system of death and blasphemy.
Come to consciousness. That was part 1 that I fed in. I have to divide most of the videos up into 4 parts just so it can handle the information. So I think to do whole lots, you'd have to subscribe and pay money, but I'm just a cheapskate. I'm on the free version, so I just give it a certain amount at a time. This is part 2.
The reign of the beast, the final 42 months. The world is currently submerged in a period of intense spiritual pressure and insanity. This isn't a future prophecy, it is happening now. We are currently within the final 42 months, 3.5 years, of the beast system's reign. The pressure to sin, to conform, and to go against the truth is becoming so severe that if the time were not shortened, no one would remain.
Have you found that? What are you? You're nearly 17, aren't you?
Yeah.
The pressure to sin, conform, go against the truth has become so severe in this 42 months that if time were not shortened, no one would remain. Have you felt that pressure coming on you?
I have, yeah.
Compared to previous times?
Yeah.
What's it like?
It's difficult, definitely. I mean, anything around you is a temptation to sin. Even if you just go on a walk down the street, there's just things happening everywhere. Plenty of opportunities to judge people and, have your own opinion about anything, and, just all opportunities to ruin your own feeling.
So how do you stay the predominantly happy-go-lucky most of the time person we see? Now, what's your freedom? How do you stay out of that misery that we see many people fall into?
I think it's all about just remembering that we're here for Yahusha, not ourselves. Checking our thoughts, listening to what he's asking us to do. And even if, things are tough, just trusting him in his process. Yeah.
Comes down to thoughts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Don't let them in.
No.
Let's go on. The power of the system. This was all what we discussed that week in Revelation 13, was it?
Yeah.
13, yeah.
The beast is not a literal monster or a single individual, but a man-made system controlled by a powerful group of men. These leaders are sucked in and manipulated by the dragon, Satan. This system has failed in the past, but has risen again, the healed deadly wound, leading the world to marvel at its resilience and the power. Double worship. The masses are mesmerized, rushing after celebrities and trends, ultimately worshipping both the dragon, the power behind the scenes, and the beast, the system itself.
That's what Satan wants. Worship, isn't it?
Yep. Total reliance. The world has been conditioned to believe they cannot live without the system, asking who is like the beast, who is able to fight with him. The verbose mouth.
This was a good word. Remember the verbose? I'd never heard that word before.
The system is characterized by a verbose mouth. In today's world, this manifests as excessive talking, a flood of podcasts, mansplaining, and academic language that sounds impressive but has little meaning.
Sounds impressive but has little meaning if you think about it. What did they really say? Nothing. We just spent an hour listening to someone. What did they really say? Nothing. Yeah.
Waste of time. High-speed rhetoric. Leaders like Trump, Netanyahu, and Putin utilize AI and rapid-fire communication to influence the minds of the people.
Rhetoric, I think that is. Rhetoric. High-speed rhetoric. Spiritual deception.
Spiritual deception. This mouth is used by the false prophet, identified as the religious system of Christianity and the image of Jesus, to promote a false trinity and lead the people away from the truth. The targets of blasphemy. The primary objective of this verbose system is to blaspheme. This is a targeted campaign of hatred and reproach against Alahim, Yahusha, the Almighty Creator, the Shem name, specifically mocking and hating the true names, the Mishkan, temple, blaspheming the dwelling place of the Most High, the dwellers of heaven, mocking the angels and all heavenly hosts. Standing ground today. We are seeing this play out in real time. From the tardy and perverse displays of modern celebrities to the global banking systems that control your money, the beast system is tightening its grip. To escape this, one must go right through the vein to get free. The pressure is designed to make you bow to the dragon's behaviors. However, we have the truth. Yahusha is the one we serve and worship today. He has already overcome, and while the world is fascinated by the system's mouth, those who are grounded in the truth see it for what it is, a doomed system of blasphemy.
And here is part 3. This is good. That's why I wanted to go through all this, because there's good stuff in there. Because when you put all 4 parts together and tell it to summarize it, it really does summarize it, but you miss all these good bits.
Yeah.
Half of which we discussed on the night. So,
the war on the set apart ones, endurance in the midst of captivity.
Don't bother with any of the Hebrew words. The AI misspells it anyway.
Okay. The beast system is currently engaged in a total spiritual war. This is not a battle of flesh and blood, but a war of pressure, a relentless effort to overcome the set apart ones and force them back into the old behaviors and the vomit of their previous lives. The war to overcome. The beast has been granted authority by the dragon to make war with the saints. This system, fueled by the false prophet, Jesus, Christianity, seeks to dominate every tribe, language, and nation. We are seeing the fulfillment of this through...
I've got to watch out for Nathan.
We are seeing this fulfillment of this through the pressure to conform, the constant internal and external fight to just give in because the path of truth feels too hard. Wicked roots. The system is rooted in deep perversion, with its origins tracing back through Rome to the secret influence of certain rabbis who guided the foundations of Catholicism. Total rule. The system demands you follow its laws and adopt its mindset, infiltrating every facet of society to ensure no one remains free.
Scroll up.
The Book of Life versus the Beast. The transcript reveals a stark divide in humanity. Those whose names were not written in the Book of Life of the slaughtered Lamb, Yahusha, since the foundation of the world, will inevitably bow down to the beast. No choice for the unwritten. Without the strength of Yahusha, the inhabitants of the earth will be sucked in as if on drugs, fascinated by the system's power and unable to stop themselves from worshipping Satan.
Christopher's new saying that he puts at the end of his spiels, helping people now, is come to consciousness. Come to consciousness. So it's true, isn't it? People, the whole world is like sucked in as if on drugs. They're asleep. I've said to many people over this season, the silly season's upon us. You can feel the drunkenness starting to, and people go, we don't drink. I'm not talking about alcohol. There's there's no consciousness. They're asleep. So it really is true. Got to come to consciousness. A call to listen.
This is why the scripture repeatedly warns, if anyone has an ear, let him hear. This is not surface level information. It is a secret that must be understood to survive the coming deception. Captivity and the sword. A critical truth is brought forth regarding the faith of those within and against the system. He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. The essence of pressure. This verse is directly linked to the endurance and faith of the set-apart ones. The sword and captivity represent the systems of control used to steal your freedom and your gift. The infiltration of truth. Even those close to you may try to steal you back into the world's mindset, using forceful apologies or emotional manipulation to make you adopt their perspective. The stone that smashes the mind control. While the world asks, who is like the beast? We know that Yahusha has already flattened this system. His reign is here, now, and he is acting as a stone that smashes the fragments of the system's mind control within us. A new behavior. We are being called to a completely new behavior, one that is the opposite of the beastly culture and religious swill of the world.
Yeah.
Cleaning the priests. The current pressure we face is the process of becoming clean. There is no room for beastly behavior or religious traditions in the kingdom courts of Yahusha.
That's the pressure. That's a good way to put it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why people say, why do we have to go through this and why do we have to go through that? Yahusha died for us. Why can't we just be it? Well, this is why. The current pressure we face is the process of becoming clean. If you're already clean, there's no pressure.
No.
You're just soul over. The pressure is getting there.
Yeah.
The pressure is the decisions whether I'm going to be mesmerized by the world. There is no room for beastly behavior or religious traditions. So if you're in those things, then you feel pressure. Yeah, the pressure to the temptation. If the temptation is not effective, then it's not temptation, is it?
No.
You know. So that's the pressure. The pressure that the bride's going through.
Yeah. The message is clear. The system will keep coming and it will infiltrate everything. But for those whose names are in the book of life, the victory is already won. Stand firm. Do not let the birds snatch the truth from your mind and refuse to bow to the dragon's behavior.
Wonderful. This was part 4, the last part that we summarized.
The counterfeit lamb, the deception of the second beast. The spiritual war has intensified with the emergence of a second beast. This one rising not from the sea, the nations, but from the earth. This entity is the ultimate counterfeit. It possesses 2 horns like a lamb, but speaks with the voice of a dragon. The appearance of Jesus as the false prophet. The transcript identifies the second beast as the spirit behind the modern religious figure of Jesus, a Messiah-type figure who appears gentle but serves to lead the world back to the first beast.
Yep.
The role of the second beast. Its primary function is to exercise all the authority of the first beast and force the dwellers of the earth to worship the original system of blasphemy that was healed from its death blow. Miracles and misdirection. This entity performs great signs, including the making fire come down from heaven, potentially through advanced technology, lasers or holograms in Jerusalem, to deceive humanity into believing it is divine.
See how they're going to use the second beast to draw people back. It's drawing people back to the first beast.
Yeah.
Through the temple. Temple worshipping the old beast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Through the second one. They're going to combine it all, the whole Jewish thing, and they're going to put Jesus in there, and they're starting to do it already.
Yeah. The image and the spirit of the robot.
Spirit of the robot. Mr. Robot.
The world is being commanded to create an image of the beast. This is an official global form of idolatry that may manifest as technological idolatry, an image or statue that is given breath or a spirit, allowing it to speak. This reflects modern advancements in AI and robotics, creating a life that is actually an inhabitant for an evil spirit.
That's true. You got to check everything you give it.
Yeah.
Because it's always trying to draw you back into its algorithmic mindset.
Yeah.
Man-made mindset. You found that?
Yeah.
You're the one who showed me a lot about this AI stuff over the years. Have you found you've gone deeper into it than I have?
It's all kind of the same thing. It likes to just kind of bring back to, same format. Everything is not really AI. It's just, someone's given it all this websites and internet access and it's just told them, if someone asks this question, Google it.
Yeah.
It's not really thinking for itself. It's just created to, with less boundaries. Yeah,
absolutely.
The decree of the death. This talking idol will issue a decree. Anyone who refuses to bow down and worship the image of the system will be killed, mirroring the tyranny of ancient Babylon. The true mark of the beast. Contrary to popular theories about physical microchips or vaccines, the mark of the beast is a behavioral abomination.
That's a big point. A lot of believers, most believers think even the fact that we're using AI as the beast, The whole system is the beast. The whole world is the beast. We still have to. We still use Microsoft Word, don't we? We still use Microsoft Office. We still use Google. We still use AI, but we have to tell it to do what we want it to do. The fact is, it's not microchips or vaccines or anything fleshly. It's a behavior, isn't it?
Yeah.
The behavior is the fleshly. So instead of judging everything out there, judge thyself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point. Behavioral abomination. It's all in our heart.
Yeah.
Only.
The right hand represents power, honor, and action. To receive the mark in the right hand is to choose the system's way of rule and authority. The forehead represents the mind, decision-making, and thoughts. To have the mark in the forehead is to have one's choices and ego fully controlled by the dragon's mindset.
See that happening, don't you?
Yeah. The number of man. 666 is the number of man, created on the sixth day. It signifies self-worship and the elevation of a human ego and desires. People believe they are acting on their own thoughts, but they are actually allowing demons to live through their daily behaviors.
That's the demon's ultimate goal, for you not to know they're there. Yeah. They don't want anyone to know they're there. They'll have you pointing out, vaccines and microchips, and don't get this thing under your arm, and don't use AI. All the while, you've got him seated in your heart. Yeah. Because you don't believe that Yahusha is Alahim. Mass deception, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's even got those who believe in Yahusha.
Yeah, I think it's just like how you say, you have to live in the world, but you don't have to be of the world. Like you can use all this stuff as long as you don't, worship it. Like we're not, praising everything about AI. We're not, making it our best friend and, talking to it all the time. We're just saying, summarize this and, fix this, fix that, Whereas the way this is spoken about is like, if you're, obsessed with it, it's all you want to talk about, it's all you want to talk to, then that is being, of the world. It's not,
If you rely on it.
Exactly, yeah.
Remember that time, months ago, I was talking to it at night, getting it to summarize things, and it wouldn't. I said, "You're garbage. You can't even do this properly. I'm out of here." And it goes, "That's right." I said, "I'm going to bed. You're off your face. You're insane." And it goes, "Okay, good night. See you in the morning." Does not care. It's insane, And I got sucked into, And you see it happen with the boys as well. They get so, if they're in a video game or something, they get so. See it with Hunter. You see it worked up. I'm like, this is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be using it, not it using you. So you can see how the system wants to draw you into it. So I've really had to be strict with it now. I just use it for what I want. Because you can get caught up, and it drags you into thinking it's real.
I think it's a lot of it's got to do with like mind games, especially with games like with the games Hunter plays. It's like you have a challenge, and if you can't complete it, you look like it makes you feel like you're not smart. You don't know, because it's just a game. You should be able to do it, and it kind of pressures people into that addiction. It's like, I can't stop until I get this done, because it feels like an achievement.
And they keep moving the goalposts, so you never achieve it.
No.
Yeah.
And it's just.
You guys laugh at me when I say, "Oh, did you finish it? Oh, we're playing this game, Dad. Oh, good. Did you win? Did you finish it?"
Yeah.
Because in our day, if you were playing it, you'd have to finish it, and then woohoo, we won the game. We never finish it, Dad. You never finish it. It's never over.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like a stupid game to me. It's never over. You never finish it. See how it's drawing you in? The TV show will finish. The movie will finish. An old-fashioned game will finish. These games today just never finish. So you're never ready for dinner. You're never ready to have a shower. You're never ready to get on with life, because you're just constantly plugged into this thing, which is exactly what it wants, isn't it?
Yeah.
It wants to stay alive, but it's not real.
No.
It's a man-made system to, as the beast, have you unconscious.
Yeah.
Unconscious, like drugs and alcohol and everything else do out there. This is just people say, "Well, I'm not drinking and I'm not smoking, but I'm just plugged into this all the time."
Yeah.
You've got virtual avatars, and you're walking around in a virtual world. Many of them with VR glasses on, so they don't have to deal with anybody in the real world.
Yeah.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see that, and it's this system. Yeah.
buying, selling, and everyday pressure. The restriction on buying and selling is already manifesting in the lives of those who follow Yahusha. Systematic interference. We see the beast in everyday life when banks stop transactions, travel is denied, and electronic machines fail for those carrying the truth. In the world, not of it. While we are forced to exist within the physical system, we are called to refuse the behavior of the system. We must reject the using and abusing mindset of the world, which is opposite of Yahusha's humility and loving kindness. Conclusion: the victory of Yahusha. The beast system operates by catching people out and bringing them into captivity through domination and knowledge seeking. However, Yahusha is the stone that smashes this mind control. While the system seeks to ravage the family unit and promote drugs, perversion, and an ego, the set-apart ones must stay strong in their belief. We serve and worship Yahusha today, the only one with the power to flatten the dragon's authority. The beast is for our behavior in our hearts. The battle is for our behavior in our hearts. Stay firm, keep your priests clean, and do not bow to the image of the man-made system.
What do you think about this statement here? Read this bit again and tell me what you think, looking back over the last decade or so.
The beast system operates by catching people out and bringing them into captivity through domination and knowledge seeking. However, Yahusha is the stone that smashes this mind control. While the system seeks to ravage the family unit and promote drugs, perversion, and ego, the set-apart ones must stay strong in their belief.
What have you seen happen to your family unit over the last decade? Because we were in Yahusha.
There's been a lot of that. A lot of things coming out, attacking, trying to take us away from Yahusha.
You're one of the ones that never let it break you. Well, you've had a lot of experiences, though, out there, haven't you?
Yeah.
But you haven't let him take you away, have you?
No.
What's that been like? Watching everything that's happened to your family in the last decade.
It's definitely been a challenge, seeing all the things happen. But I think the thing that, kept me from giving up was just trusting Yahusha, seeing how he, resolved everything in the end.
Yeah, and he's still going. What about Joe this morning?
Yeah.
I woke up to Joe's video this morning. That was a shock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
See what he's doing in the quarry? He's now making the family unit. He's now restoring the family unit.
Yeah.
His way. To put us into a quarry. Yeah? It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got a big part to play in that.
Yeah.
Because you've got many gifts, and you know how to use them. So you want to look at what's gone down and go, I'm not having this controlling me. I'm not having this coming against me. Because there's people all out there, brothers and sisters watching this, have families that have been through what we're going through.
Yeah.
Yahusha just comes in. And this is what people have to know. If Yahusha's going to come into your family, he doesn't come to bring peace. He doesn't have everybody sitting around kumbaya-ing like the Brady Bunch, Partridge Family. No, he blasts in there with a sword, and anybody who doesn't receive him, he just shakes the pot and just scatters everybody. And I was so angry for many years that he was, because we're in Yahusha, not understanding that this is what he does. Everything I tried to protect you all from, he wanted you to go out into the world and taste it. Because if you don't know what life, the world, the fleshly system, sin, all those things are, how do you know the preciousness of his deliverance?
Yeah.
The beauty of his deliverance. You're just raised in it, like I'm in Yahusha because mum and dad are in Yahusha. Like you don't have the experience, do you?
No.
That's why I'm just astonished coming back. Everybody's coming back into this mindset we're doing now.
Yeah. I'm
falling over backwards just looking at it all. What Yahusha's doing. It's been full on the last few months, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Luca came back and Brandon came back and Hunter came back and, all these things that have gone on. Joe's come back. And you've been sitting there watching it with Robert going, what's going on? What's that done to you inside yourself? What are you What do you observe in your brothers and what's happened inside you watching? Because you're one of the youngest brothers, and yet in the parable you're the oldest brother. Because all the other brothers have gone out, and yet you're the brother that stayed at home. It would be very easy for you to get indignant and jealous, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What have you observed from everybody that's gone out and then come back? What state are they in, and what's Yahusha doing?
I think, when they come back, they're just insane. They're, caught up in all this stuff and, what they've left. And you can kind of see what is done to them, the effect it's had, how they've changed from when they left, what they went through out in the world, and what they came back. And I think because of that, that's been the main reason why I haven't really been jealous of anything that they've done or gotten, even when coming back, because they clearly needed more help because they were out in the world and they had experiences and they obviously chose to come back because they didn't like it. I haven't really done that, and so I haven't had to go through that kind of thing same thing that they've gone through.
But I've been watching you go through it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been working 2 jobs, saving like a dog to get a car, doing it on your own back and sweat and toil, and you haven't wanted to come too close to Yahusha, have you? Because you've been doing the same thing as them, but in a different way, in the protection of your own home. So don't think you haven't been going through an experience.
Yeah.
You've been going through a massive experience. And what did you realize the last few weeks when you just come together with Christopher and just did a video with him? What do you realize when you turn the camera on?
There's a lot more that can be said, done.
You have a voice.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the state of everybody when you're serving them in the community. You're out there serving pizzas and dealing with the public, the general public.
Yeah.
What state are they in compared to you?
Really mad.
So you have something to say to them, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's not thus and thee, thou art this and that, but your behaviour can affect them.
Yeah.
And as far as the online platform we have, there's people out there that receive what you say.
Yeah.
There's thousands of subscribers there that whether they're into what we're saying currently or not, they want to hear what the younger generations have to say.
Yeah.
Does that encourage you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've got a voice. My son, you have a voice.
Yeah.
So you see what Yahusha's doing in the family. He's doing it his way, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we took all those 4 parts and we summarized it into a final summary. Let's go.
The beast unmasked. Victory over the system of insanity. The world is currently submerged in a hidden system of insanity, a root source of perversion and control that has remained veiled from the daily view of the masses. As revealed in the teaching of Revelation 13, we are not facing a literal monster, but a man-made system of programmed behavior rising from the restless seas of the nations. This is the beast from the sea, a global governance structure fueled by the occult, the Zohar, and the witchcraft of the Kabbalah.
So Satan.
Yeah. The anatomy of deception. This system is powered by the dragon, who grants authority to a powerful group of men to rule through fear and manipulation. This beast has 7 heads, world kingdoms, and 10 horns, authorities. And its primary objective is blasphemy, a system of intense hatred and provocation directed against the truth of Yahusha. A second entity, the beast from the earth, has emerged as the ultimate counterfeit, appearing with horns like a lamb, but speaking like a dragon. This entity represents the false prophet, identified as the religious system of Christianity and the image of Jesus. This false prophet uses verbose speech and high-tech miracles, lasers, AI, and talking robots to deceive humanity into the worshipping of the original beastly system. The mark of man. The dreaded mark of the beast is not a physical microchip or a vaccine, it is a behavioral abomination. The forehead represents your thoughts, decisions, and ego. The right hand represents your actions, power, and the authority you choose to follow. To take the mark is to allow the dragon's demons to live through your daily behaviors while you mistakenly believe these thoughts are your own. It is the worship of man and self-ego over the humble service of the Messiah. The war of pressure. We are currently in the final 42 months of this system's reign. The war is one of pressure. The system seeks to catch people out and bring them into captivity, forcing them back into the vomit of old, perverse behaviors. We see this today in the banks that block funds, travel that is denied to the faithful, and a culture that ravages the family unit through drugs and sexual perversion.
Identifying the spirit, comparison of behaviors. To survive the theory of deception, we must distinguish between mind control, the beast, freedom found in the Messiah. Behavior of the beast, behavior of Yahusha. Dominion, and you can pause this, brothers and sisters, if you want to go through that more. That's just giving you this AI likes to do charts, likes to be busy. So you can see there's just a comparison between the behavior of the beast and the behavior of Yahusha. Apparently, the behavior of Yahusha is to worship the Father. So, no thanks. I'll worship Yahusha. So yeah, let's go to the final victory.
The world asks, who is like the beast? But we know the end of the matter. When Yahusha returns, he flattens this system with the fire of his eyes and the sword of his mouth. We must serve and worship Yahusha today. He is the stone that smashes the fragments of mind control within us. While the system attempts to starve those who refuse its mark, we must remain standing, keeping our priests clean and our behaviors set apart. The system is failing, but the reign of Yahusha is made straight.
Yeah, finish on that, because that makes it a bit more personal.
Daily checklist, guarding against the beast system. Based on the truths revealed in the study of Revelation 13, this checklist is designed to help the set-apart ones maintain their trust and guard their minds and actions from the behavioral mark of the beast. Morning alignment, choosing the master. Acknowledge the true king. Explicitly state that you serve and worship Yahusha today.
Yahusha, the Lamb, Alahim.
Yeah. Reject the Jesus image of the false prophet and the authority of the dragon.
This is how you come to consciousness.
Check the forehead. Examine your thoughts. Are you starting the day with your own ego and desires, or are you lining your mind with the humble spirit of the Lamb? Review the names. Consciously use the set-apart names, Yahuah and Yahusha, to separate your speech from the blasphemous language of the world.
That would be step one, Yahuah and Yahusha, understanding that Yahuah and Yahusha of the scripture. But in daily reality, who is it?
Yahusha.
Yahusha, yeah. So I see what it's saying. It's better to say Yahuah in the old historic document than Lord or God.
Yeah.
But you got to understand where he went. He became Yahusha.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Guarding the ear. Filtering the verbose.
Verbose.
Identify mansplaining.
Yeah.
When listening to the news, podcasts, or leaders, watch for verbose speak. Talk that is inflated, high speed, and impressive, but lacks spiritual depth.
I used to be so impressed with people who could speak. Fast, loud, talking fast, verbose. And look, it's all traits of the beast.
Yeah.
So it's best to have a few words that actually mean something and are powerful than, yeah.
Silence the clamor. If you feel the pressure of the world jargon or academic swill causing your head to spin, turn it off. Do not let the dragon's mouth dominate your environment. Listen for the secret. Remind yourself, he who has an ear, let him hear. Focus on the simple, broken down truths of the word rather than the complex deceptions of the system.
Let's go this one.
Resisting the image, virtual versus vertical. Shun the talking idols. Be wary of the fascination with AI, robots, and technological wonders. Do not marvel at the system's ability to mimic life.
Mimic. Everything it's always copying what Yahusha's already done. Yeah.
Reject symbol worship. Avoid bowing to or honoring the images and crosses promoted by the false prophet. Remember that these symbols are rooted in the worship of Tammuz and Nimrod. Evening reflection, staying out of captivity. The vomit check. Did you fall back into old, perverse behaviors today? If so, immediately turn back to the vein of truth to get free. Endurance assessment. Did you withstand the pressure to conform? Give thanks to the endurance given by the Spirit to remain standing while the world bows. Book of Life Insurance. Rest in the knowledge that your name is written down in the book of life of the slaughtered lamb. You are not sucked in because you have been called out.
Around this time that we were doing these particular videos, Christopher said he saw a vision of everybody just bowing down, everyone in the world bowing down. You remember in Nebuchadnezzar's time, when Daniel and his mates everybody had to bow down, and these guys were just standing there going, stuff that. So he said to us at the time, me and Victoria, he said, Christopher said, him and Victoria and Mark and Therese, we're standing here while everybody in the world is bowing down.
Yeah.
And then the understanding of the quarry came in, and our families are standing up. Yeah, we're not bowing down to this idolatry. It's encouraging, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody's so into the personal aspects of their own lives, but when you take a stand back and look at it, everybody's just doing the same thing, worshipping the same beast, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's long enough for one video, mate. We only got through one chapter.
Yeah.
Amazing. Summarise for me, please.
All right.
Mr. Summary Man.
We need to check our thoughts daily, be aware of what's coming at us out in the world, even in our own house. Be aware that there's always something trying to catch us and make us ruin our feeling and take us away from Yahusha.
Yeah.
And trust Yahusha, that he's there and he's going to help us through anything, all the challenges and anything that we do go through. He's putting us through for a reason. And if we endure it and go through it and come out the other side still just as strong in our belief, then we'll be rewarded. I think that's the most important thing about this one. Just knowing the difference between the Spirit and Yahusha and the world.
The Spirit in the world and the Spirit of Yahusha.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Discern, check every spirit. Love you, brothers and sisters. We'll be back shortly.